Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I want to share this post from the Modern Investor who's been in crypto a pretty long time. If I'm not mistaken, he's been in crypto at least since 2016, or maybe that's just when he started his YouTube channel. But I'll tell you, as soon as I learned about XRP and jumped into the XRP community in November of 2017, he's actually one of the first YouTubers I came across. Before I had even considered launching my own channel, I was watching a bunch of his stuff. And just to highlight the direction, the way that things have developed, a lot of what he said has actually been correct. And so, I mean, it's going to be no surprise to anybody that I agreed with that stuff, because like a lot of the stuff that the XRP community had been insisting was likely to unfold before I even knew it existed, it actually has come to pass, including the development further of onboarding of real world assets on the XRP ledger, so on and so forth. And so when he shared what's on your screen, which I'll read in just a second here, like, this isn't some moon boy saying some moon boy stuff. This is something that I firmly believe actually could happen. Now, I always stop short of actually making price predictions because that's not my shtick. I don't do it. I'm not a chart guy myself. I don't need to be. Nobody needs to be, though. Really just, having broad exposure to the crypto asset class and then holding for a long time, that kind of does the job. Focusing on utility coins and the largest coins out there because they've been the most vetted by the market. But here's what he had to say, and this makes sense to me. If this comes to pass, I will not be surprised. He said it's 2030, Bitcoin is at $1 million, and XRP is at $39 a coin. Do you feel like you have enough? Okay, for me, the answer is yes, I have enough. I have a completely unreasonable amount of XRP, and I'm very happy that is the state of things. Look, fine. Bitcoin, maybe it goes to $1 million bucks within that time frame. I'm more confident that XRP could hit that particular target, though. I will say that. Because, look, there are so many analysts that believe this cycle, XRP is going to double digits. Tons of reputable analysts think it's going to be more like 20 to 30 bucks this cycle, like as in that could happen this year. So if you're talking about maybe just doubling the price of XRP's peak from one cycle to the next, that's not a big ask, to be honest. That stuff happens in crypto all the damn time. And it's always made sense to me that as long as XRP continues to be functionally useful, yeah, I mean, the idea of it, being a multi-trillion-dollar asset in terms of market cap, that's not crazy stuff. That's not crazy land, And fine, there's always this possibility we could be wrong and it all goes to zero, but I do not think so. My conviction has never been higher. And so I want to share with you a couple reasons that, as far as I'm concerned, this is not moon boy stuff. Let's just be clear. This is the type of thing that absolutely can happen, and I've been expecting to happen since I jumped into crypto. Because it's just a little baby asset class. Like, even now, it's pretty damn small. And take a look at this, by the way. Like, even if this is conservative, it doesn't mean that this is where the peak would be, but here's another analyst. This is, I just came across this before recording. This is a Crypto General. He said XRP price is moving as planned. The price is still stuck in a range, and my buy orders will be post-breakout and retest with targets around $9. Now, he thinks it can go higher than that. In fact, I had this older post from him. This is from April 2nd. And he said, XRP still consolidating above the breakout zone and is holding it strong. The next leg up would start post a breakout of this consolidating. I am adding at these levels. Will add heavy bag at the breakout with easy 5 to 10x targets. So he's talking about $10 to $20. And it could be the case that those types of predictions, if you're thinking about the lower end, maybe that will be too conservative. But look, these ranges where you're talking about double-digit price action, like, I don't think anybody thinks that that's crazy. Just like, it's just kind of a question of how high does it actually go this cycle, and we're just going to have to find out together. But it ain't going to stop. And so that's why, since utility matters and will win the day, it's always going to do that. I mean, the utility is the reason that people like me and you are interested in this. Let's be real. And if it didn't have utility, there's no way in hell that XRP would have stayed in the top 10 coins by market cap for its entire existence. But this is the entire world of speculators in crypto on a global scale saying, yes, we believe XRP makes sense. It's a vote of confidence. That's why XRP is where it is. I think it's only going to go up. And so that's why, as I continue to see increased utility for XRP, I get even more excited, because in my mind, we cannot reasonably be wrong about this directionally, as long as it's useful, because humans aren't just going to throw away technologies that's functionally useful. And so that's why this story, which I've talked about in a number of videos recently, has me quite excited. And so there's a bit more confirmation of something we've been talking about here. But here's the headline. Ripple director confirms XRP Ledger will power post-trade infrastructure for all Hidden Road prime brokerage services. Okay, and so we did already know that this is going to be used, but for all? So it looks like that part actually is confirmed here. Check this out. Ripple managing director for the UK and Europe, Cassie Craddock, has confirmed that the XRP Ledger will play a central role in Hidden Road's post-trade infrastructure. Recall that Ripple recently acquired the prime brokerage firm for just over $1.2 billion. And folks, I've got to pause and note, there's no other coin that's powering such a thing, not to this scale. This is the only one on the planet, and it's XRP. So you might say to yourself, that probably matters, and you might be right. Okay. Anyway, in a statement, Craddock revealed that RLUSD, the Ripple stablecoin, will serve as collateral. This will enable seamless bridging between digital assets and traditional finance, TradFi. So let me pause here to also note, every single RLUSD transaction requires the usage of XRP when it's on the XRP ledger, which of course is what they're talking about here. So every single transaction is powered by XRP in the XRP ledger, quite literally. It's required. That is going to ensure the long-term viability of XRP. It's one more thing. I mean, there are many things that do that. This is happening. Anyway, in parallel, Craddock stated that the XRP Ledger will power all of Hidden Road's post-trade services related to prime brokerage. Previously, Hidden Road had disclosed its intention to transition post-trade operations to XRPL to reduce costs and enhance settlement efficiency. Ripple executives noted during the acquisition announcement that Hidden Road processes $3 trillion in annual transaction volume. However, this massive volume currently suffers from delayed settlement times and the inefficiencies of traditional payment systems. So Ripple is looking to solve these issues with the XRP Ledger integration. Okay, and so great to see RLUSD used as collateral. Presumably, though, for these transactions, and this is, I guess you technically call it speculation, but I don't know how it would work any other way. I'd be curious. I mean, maybe there's a way that I'm just, unaware of. But presumably, this is going to require a whole bunch of tokenization. So we'll see what that looks like. I could be wrong about that. To be clear, just speculation. But we haven't heard more about how the sausage is made. So all we can do is speculate here. And so Crypto Eddie, she shared this news, and that's Cassie right there on the screen. The XRP Ledger will be used as post-trade for all of Hidden Road's prime brokerage services. Folks, all of them, $3 trillion worth. It's just wild. That's functional utility for XRP and the XRP Ledger. And here somebody wrote, what does that even mean, XRPL for post-trades? Which is a great question. And here's what Crypto Eddie had to say about that. In summary, the XRP Ledger will probably handle some actual transactions, e.g. settling trades, moving RLUSD collateral, and data, e.g. recording trade details, reconciling clearing data, for Hidden Road's post-trade processes. We will have to rely on more updates from Ripple and sleuths on the ledger. Yeah, so again, we need to hear more about how the sausage is made. I'll be happy to share more as I continue to learn. But I look at something like this, and then I see the modern investor, where I started this video talking about, it's 2030 and XRP's at $39. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. That don't sound crazy to me. Because we can reach a point here where, increase of adoption of crypto, including XRP and the XRP Ledger, it increases exponentially. So the rate of adoption, the rate of money flowing in can substantially multiply compared to what we've been seeing over the last decade even. Like substantially. And it already is picking up pace. And so then you consider XRP has hit a new all-time high this cycle, $3.40. And that's with less than 1% of humans having ever bought it. What happens when way more people jump into crypto and way more money from major institutions and wealthy individuals flows in? XRP is a scarce asset. It's just going to go buck wild. So it may seem far away, and you hear $39 right now, but big figures for Bitcoin used to seem impossible, but more adoption has happened, and this can be true for XRP as well. So I will not be surprised if we, check back in 5 years from now, and we're somewhere in that neighborhood. It's not moon boy stuff. It's real. There's real opportunity for life-changing wealth in crypto. We won't be done just because this cycle's over. We're going to, I believe, rocket in price and move back down because there are always market corrections. We'll be in a bear market, but then we'll have more opportunity to buy. And I will do it again. Like, I'm going to do this whole thing again. Even if I sell all of my XRP, when the market craters, I'm going to buy a crazy amount again. That's my full intention. Just do it all over again. There's so much opportunity here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.